Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today, Lieutenant Terry Fritz and Sergeant Robbie Seal.
You got it right.
I didn't mess it up.
Got it.
They've all switched.
You got it.
They've switched titles here in ranks. So I'm trying to get. It's that time again for finding out what's happening in the community, revolving the Warren County Sheriff's Office. A lot of stuff is happening in the fall. We are going to be busy. And we know you've been busy at a lot of meetings here lately. And I was at the library meeting. You had a couple of deputies there, and at all these public meetings, the sheriff shows up and gives us a little protection there. We appreciate that.
Our community policing's been booming, and the fall is usually our busiest time. So for the next 4 months, we have quite a number of events coming up. So we're trying to spread the duties equally amongst everybody, so we don't have the same deputy
I talked to the sheriff the other day, and we talked about community policing. And I don't think people realize that all these things that you do and the events that puts on and the participation that the Warren County Sheriff's Office does in the community is a policing function.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is.
Expand that. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, my definition of community policing, the emphasis of what we're doing with the Sheriff's Office is we are involving ourselves with our community's organizations, businesses, what have you. Right. We are actually, it's not about what we're doing as an agency ourselves or what we're promoting out there as far as the Sheriff's Office, our events and everything, but we are actively engaged in what the other organizations are doing. The Phoenix Projects, Warren Coalitions, I mean, the Mooses, the Elkses, everybody out there that has their own initiatives, their own goals, their own mission, and what they want to do for the community. We're partnering with them, and in helping and assisting with their programs or their events, and just being involved and utilizing and giving of our resources in helping them make that event and their mission successful. That's what community policing is all about.
And together we can make the difference. I mean, that's been the slogan of our agency since Sheriff Butler has taken office. But it's true. Together, if we partner with these agencies and help them with their initiatives, they help us with our initiatives, and we're involved in the community. We improve people's quality of lives. We help them from becoming victims, and it's a big circle. They help us, we help them, and everybody's life is better.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It makes our whole community
tremendously.
better. Yeah,
tremendous.
A lot of these things happen behind the scenes, and we don't see it. But what they say in law enforcement, you couldn't do it all by yourself.
No.
I mean, to give an example, the FOP has been great. And here recently, we would like to thank the FOP, our local
Tell us
lodge.
what that is.
It's the Fraternal Order of Police.
Okay.
And they gave us a donation to help fund our Project Lifesaver program.
Right.
So the money that they give, we put right back into the community by offering a service free of charge to people. So that way they can help locate a loved one should a loved one go missing, and that loved one has some sort of special need and has an elopement issue. Sure. So that's just one example of how our community comes together, and together we made that difference.
I think some people have a misconception of what community policing is, and it's always been around since the beginning of time. I think the community is what,
Well, yeah, and not only that, I mean, when I talk about being involved in the communities, but the new era of what a police officer or law enforcement officer should stand for today is, and when they're out there in the field, they're doing their job and everything. They're communicating. They're carrying on a valuable set of skills where they communicate with people, provide the resource or knowledgeable in the resources that they can provide in speaking with the public, and more so. So the public looks at law enforcement not like the old days. As
knock you upside the head and throw you in
jail. I never did that, but a different light, if you will, of what a law enforcement officer is about, really.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
And it's not just going to the community events and participating in the good feel-good stuff.
Right.
It's being there and communicating with the people, hearing their problems and hearing how we can make a difference in their community. Because each little community, like we have the Church of Skyline, will participate in that event. They'll come up and they'll share stories of what's affecting their community and how we can improve services there.
Yeah.
And if they're bringing issues to our attention, then we'll address them and try to make their quality of life better.
It's like any organization. It seems like the barriers are dropped when you're in that group of like-minded people. And I think as you interject yourself in there, you find out a lot of stuff going on.
Well, people don't
Oh, my
always
goodness.
pick up the phone or go
Yeah.
to the sheriff's office to say,
Right.
hey, I want to talk about this issue. But if you come to their community,
Right.
you're a little more approachable.
Right.
And, you kind of have a kinder, softer
Sure,
uniform
yeah. You
than
don't
what
look
we
like
used
Robbie,
to
right?
have.
Kinder,
Well,
softer. Yes.
We used to have the Class A uniforms,
Sure.
and that was one of the big reasons why we changed to be more friendly
Sure.
and approachable to the public, but also it's more functional and cheaper.
Sure.
So there's more reasons than just,
Yeah.
we wanted to switch a uniform.
Sure.
But it does make us approachable.
It
So
does
when we
make
go
a
into
difference.
the communities, people are more likely to come up to us and talk to us.
hey, I'm your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
We get that all the time.
Yeah. Hey.
You know, and I really offset this look with this smile.
All right, let's cut to the chase here. We got
right.
a lot of stuff coming up. So what are some of our events we're going to be
So-
community policing?
For the month of September, we have on the 18th, we're participating in Navigating the Maze with the ARC. That's a great partnership
Right.
that we've tried to start up with the ARC. We go in once a week on Wednesday. They have a bowling event, so we meet with them and just kind of touch base, figure out what issues they have, and just interact with some of the individuals there. But Navigating the Maze is going to be a great program. We're going to have a deputy there talking about like Smart 911, which I brought some literature here. That's another free service. So if you have the time, it's something you just sign up for.
Sure.
And it's kind of like caller ID on steroids. So you get to choose what information you share. And should you dial 911, that information would come to our communications center and be readily available for our dispatchers. Maybe you can't speak. Maybe you're choking. Or maybe you're having an allergic reaction. That information would be pre-populated on the screen, so they would have, your name, your phone number, your address, if you're diabetic, if you have any kind of allergies, anything to that nature, whatever you want to share. And maybe you're having a fire or something.
Right.
You can list that you have pets. You can list where people's
Exactly,
bedrooms are.
exactly.
So it's a great
You used to put stickers on
Oh,
program
our
that's
windows.
free.
Remember when?
Oh, yeah.
You do that. You're right. Sometimes you can't communicate all the things that need to be said, or you forget.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So we're trying to expand on the Smart 911.
Okay.
One thing that we're looking at doing is called FMP for fire, medical, and police. We have the ability within our software through our CAD system and dispatch to be able to flag addresses. So if you have someone that has a special need or a special condition that you'd like to register, I guess
Sure.
is the best word to use, you can let us know what that issue is, fill out a little questionnaire, and we can flag that address for that special need. So if you have, say, a nonverbal person living there or a person with dementia or
on oxygen or what-
anything,
yeah.
something that would be a special need that you'd like to notify fire and rescue and law enforcement. So when you do call, that address is pre-flagged and we would know. And it could be something. It could be a senior not able to get up to get to the door.
Yeah.
So what we would do in a situation like that, maybe they have a lockbox. Maybe they want to let us know, hey, here's where the lockbox is and here's the way to get to the key.
Right. Or just come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff
Use
like
the
that.
back door. There's all sorts of things that.
So that's going to be a
I'm
new
thinking-
program that we're starting up. It's going to be
That's
very
great.
similar to what Smart 911 is, but it's going to be in-house. We'll kind of pair it with our Operation Telephone and our Project Lifesaver because it's going to be the similar demographic.
Right.
So if you want some more information on that, reach out to the Sheriff's Office. You can contact me directly, Lieutenant Fritz, and I'd be glad to get you the information.
Yeah. You got that lieutenant part down.
Yeah, I guess. Something like that.
All right. Go. What else we got?
So we do our monthly readings.
Oh, by the way, the ARC is Arc of Warren, and what are some of the things they do? Because I got an article I'm going to write on them here because they have this event coming up.
So
and
I don't want to speak on everything that they specifically
No,
do because
but
I don't.
overall-
I don't know I can't talk today for certain for everything that they do. We've just recently started the partnership.
Okay.
A gentleman that works with us, Christian Downs, his mother is in charge of the ARC here for
Right.
the community,
Yeah.
and it's typically dealing with people with intellectual disabilities or
right.
physical disabilities.
Right.
But it's a great program to help improve their
I was
quality.
gonna say, a lot of people don't know they've been here for a long,
A long time. And I didn't realize that. And prior to school setting in this year, I had the opportunity. They actually reached out to us, wanted us to, because they have, like Terry said, bowling every Wednesday.
Right.
And they were hoping to. They actually spoke with, I guess one of the organizers spoke with Sheriff Butler and said, "Hey, it'd be great, if you guys can kind of just show up
Sure.
and on our bowling night." And so Terry got pretty much approached me with that, and I went. I think it was the first time.
Yeah, you went
The first time. I had a ball. I mean, I had so much fun, and I was teasing them about, hey, what their bowling scores were and everything. But got a lot of
They
hugs.
were better than his.
Well, yeah, I didn't bowl, but yeah, got a lot of hugs, and as soon as I walked in the door, just hugs, and everybody just rushing to you.
Everybody knows you. Right?
Well, it's just the law enforcement. It's amazing what the uniform, represents to a lot of people for the good, and I was overwhelmed. I really enjoyed that.
I just wanted to mention the ARC because they do have this event coming up, and I want to help them. But they've been around a long time. They do a lot of good work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's important to build a rapport with our community, especially our special needs community, because a lot of times they're very standoffish. So we're going to try to help them and partner with the ARC and put on a presentation for the caregivers to, how to make encounters with law enforcement a little more safer.
Right.
Try to teach them some coping skills and what they should do should they need law enforcement assistance. Because not everybody's going to be verbal.
Right.
So we're going to have the caregivers, teach their children on, what they would need to do should they need to contact law enforcement.
All right.
A couple other things. We do our monthly reading at Samuel's Library. The next one's going to be on September 20th. We have our triad meetings, which is going to be on September 20th as well. It's typically the third Wednesday of every month at 2 p.m., and it's at the Senior Center. I think this one coming up is going to be at the Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's Office community.
There was a conflict with the Senior Center.
Right.
We have a car seat check day.
Yes.
And that is going to be on September 23rd. So if anyone would like to have their car seat inspected and taught how to properly install a car seat, that's a service that the Sheriff's Office does. It will be September 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Warren County Sheriff's Office.
Very, very important opportunity for those parents out there that have trouble with car seat installation and not knowing for sure.
I put that story up the other day. I was looking at some videos, and they show people trying to put the car seat in, and if you've ever done one the very first time, it's not as easy to do it properly, especially the way every car is a little different. It's strapping that thing in. It's important to get it in right because you're putting your precious cargo in there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And there's a lot of misconceptions when you put car seats in. Some people think we got to wedge the seat right up against it so this thing doesn't move. Well, that defeats some of the safety mechanisms of a car seat. Yeah. So, it's a free service. Come on by September 23rd.
It's a great thing.
And if you're not able to make that, that's perfectly fine. Just give the Sheriff's Office a call, and we'll schedule a day for you to come in time, and we'll do a car seat install.
Yeah.
Got to.
That's what we're about.
So then a couple other events we have coming up. We have two more to finish out September. September 24th from 1 p.m. to 4, we're doing Celebrate Kids Day. I think Robbie's got a little bit to talk about on Celebrate Kids Day.
Yeah, of course. I wear several hats in the community other than being, and of course, one of them is being the vice president of the Warren Coalition's executive committee. So, big event that the CKD, which is acronym for Celebrate Kids Day.
Right.
And it's coming up September 24th, like Terry said, and just a great event. Actually, this year's being held at the Warren County Health and Human Services Complex. Got that right.
We always call it the 15th Street.
The 15th Street, the old school and everything. And just a lot of, we're still looking, on behalf of the Warren Coalition, still looking for sponsors out there. And obviously, if you would love to be a sponsor, I think it's generally the coalition say $300. You can be a great sponsor for this event. Last year brought out a tremendous amount of people, kids, parents, and everything. And really, it's a means, a fun-filled day event to share with parents the resources that are available for their children in the Warren County community. So, a lot of fun things to do, pony rides, you got a lot of pumpkins, face painting, just reading off some of the activities, moon bounce, giant slide, obstacle course, craft materials, prizes for games, a petting zoo as well. So a lot of activities.
It's a lot of fun, and it's well attended, and people love it.
Well attended, and just be aware of that. Again, September 24th from 1 to 4 p.m. There at the old 15th Street Middle School.
Is there a charge for that?
Actually, there is no charge. Let me read here. Actually, the Warren Coalition had substantially cut the cost of the event 80% because of the community support from the supporters out there. So there is. I stand 80%. So there is a charge.
Yeah.
$1, people.
Right.
$1.
Yeah.
So it's interest fee.
I wanted to bring that up. I knew that they
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So all
That's
these.
the best dollar you'll
Yes.
spend.
So again, a great event. Love to see our community, our parents bring their kids to come out for that on behalf of Warren Coalition's great mission and what they're doing for our youth in the community.
I'll bring up a more solemn event. I know it's not put on by the sheriff's office, but the town is dedicating the bridge.
Oh, yes.
For one of your fellow officers when you
Sergeant Dennis Medley, yes.
Yes, it's hard to believe it's been 40 years. I can remember that day. And you remember things. I remember 9/11. The Kennedy.
Yeah.
I can remember the Kennedy assassination. I'm that old, you know. But you do remember things like that, and it's good to remember those things. To do it. That's really
well said in that aspect. Somebody asked me. Well, of course, we celebrated 9/11 just recently, and that is a day. And I look at Sergeant Smedley's obviously tragic. Tragedy that when it happened. I wasn't even in law enforcement at the time.
Yeah.
I was working at Avtex.
Right.
And riding the bus from Luray to Avtex to go to work. And then eventually heard about that. And it's synonymous of 9/11. You all, to where everyone, somebody asked me, where was I when that occurred?
Right.
And those are two events in my life that I know exactly where I was when that happened.
So I just wanted to mention that they're going to have a ceremony on the bridge next week. So we have a story online on that. It's great. A lot of people have interest in that. Cold cases interest people, but that's something that it'll be solved.
That is one that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So what else?
So the last event we have for September is going to be the Church's Skyline, their fall festival. We were asked to be a part of it again this year, so we will be there, 11 a.m. to 3. And that finishes out September. So it was busy September, but October's probably busier. So we have a senior luncheon that we do at the Senior Center. We try to do it once a month. We partner with the local Masonic Lodge.
Right.
And Will Bryant with So
He
Moto
does
Beef
such a
Barbecue.
great job.
He does.
He's a great partner.
He does.
With good food. It's really good food. So we'll be partnering with them again on October 5th.
Is Robbie a member of the Senior Center now?
He's a frequent participant.
I'm a frequent participant. I call myself a junior senior because they want to accept me as a senior and say I'm too young. So 62 years old, people. I mean, I'm too young. No.
That's a great service. I think I've always felt it was underutilized, in a way. But I've been over there several times, and they have a whole community there, basically like family,
And I think they normally have about 30 to 40 people every day.
Right, and they're going to be having to a new facility. I don't know if that opened yet or not, but they're moving from the old senior center over to the DSS complex on 15th Street.
Yes.
One day.
They're building a beautiful facility in there for them. There's a lot more room and a lot more functional, so that's great.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, go ahead, Terry.
A couple of the bigger events that we have coming up in October, it starts out with the Jack-O-Lantern Jubilee, another DSS event, and it'll be at that 15th Street School from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes.
We'll be participating with that. Then we were invited by Front Royal Buick GMC to do their drive-through trunk-or-treat program again. That was very successful last year and well-attended. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we'll be there for that. Then Hometown Halloween will be on the 28th.
Yes.
And we also have the DEA Drug Take-Back Day.
Oh, yeah.
That will be on October 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come out and see me and dispose of any unwanted medications.
Amazing how many pounds of drugs you get collected there, isn't it?
We've been averaging about 100 pounds, give or take, every time we do it. And we do it twice a year in the fall and spring.
Yeah, because, the old days, we'd flush those down the toilet, but, don't do that now. We're spending millions of dollars to clean up that things that are being put in the sewer system. And drugs are not something that are easy to get rid of. So definitely dispose of them properly.
So if you're not able to make it out on October 28th for the DEA Drug Take-Back Day, that's fine. We have Deterra drug neutralizing pouches. They're free at the sheriff's office, so stop by the sheriff's office, pick up as many as you need. But if you have a large quantity of medications to dispose of, if you can try to make it to the Drug Take-Back Day, that's probably the better way and much easier than opening up these individual pouches.
And it's a drive-through type thing.
It is. You don't even have to get out. There's no questions asked. You hand me a bag of whatever medications. We'll put it in the disposal bin, and then we take it to the DA drop-off site, and then I believe they put it through the incinerator.
Yep,
Right.
they do.
So,
Yeah.
They do.
Okay.
Just a couple other things I had actually in September. Didn't know if you were aware. Second annual Suicide Prevention Ride and Awareness.
Yes.
Awareness event.
The Royal Examiner is way ahead of you.
That doesn't surprise me, Mike, not at all. But actually,
we're like you. We want to support these organizations.
Yes,
This is a great.
But again, as part of the partnership
Yeah.
initiative, with the sheriff's office, I sit on the last 2 years sit on the committee spearheaded by Northwestern Community Services and putting on this event. And so this is actually coming up this September 16th. They actually put on a motorcycle ride.
Right.
Where a lot of motorcycle riders will get together and sort of promote the awareness by ride. This year, last year we started at the Moose here in Front Royal. This year ended in Luray. This year just the opposite. They're starting in Luray. They're at what they call Bulldog Field off 340, the high school football field, and starting there and then going through Edinburgh. So it involves 3 counties: Shenandoah, Page, and Warren County, and so they'll be traveling through Shenandoah County and then ending up here in Front Royal at the Moose Lodge, finishing off with activities over there. So, so great event as far as promoting, suicide awareness, throughout the communities in our area. Other than that, I said I had 2, and October coming up is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I have a meeting actually today with Melanie Stahl. They're at the Phoenix Project, and of course she provides every year. She'll get a hold of me and says, "Hey, Robbie, I've got the purple ribbons and everything to symbolize October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month." So I'll be picking those ribbons up, and what we do with them, we affix them to the antennas of our cruisers. So if you see our cruisers, some of you have seen them over the years, even back when I was at the police department, I was involved in doing the same thing. If you see those purple ribbons on these antennas of our cruisers, that's why you see them, because we're supporting Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October.
So they'll be wearing purple T-shirts under their uniforms.
Yeah,
and then they'll change.
That's not a bad idea.
No, and then you'll put on the pink T-shirts for Breast Awareness Month, breast cancer. So that's October. So there's a lot of activities going on in our community, and I don't think people realize all the great organizations we have in our community, and that's kind of what makes sometimes we don't participate. We don't think we have a need for it, but somebody does, and we're helping all these different people, and they all come together to make the the county exactly what it is. It's a great place to live, raise your family, and we always hear the negatives, but really when you put it on a scale, it's so small compared to all the good things that happen.
Exactly.
I think because we're small and we know about what's going on makes us more aware.
Yeah.
People say that all the time. They say, "Well, I know I'm going to move, and I don't want to live in a place that's got all this problem." I said, "You've never been anywhere." Trust me, our problems are small. It's the old story. They say, "Throw all your problems in this pile here, then go pick out another problem that you want."
Yeah.
You got to trade it. Almost everybody picks out the problem they had.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's what interests them.
I can't remember the background of that story, but I do remember the punchline.
I know Terry wants to promote a big thing we got coming up, but I did want to finish off on my end with some new experience and responsibilities that I've been doing. Took a back seat, obviously, in a lot of the.
You're supposed to cut back your hours.
Yeah, I'm supposed to cut back my hours, and I have cut back my hours, but I put them in a very, very good place right now, and from my own initiative of doing this, that's why this man now is the lieutenant of community policing, and I'm his subordinate now, because I actually decided I wanted to do a little stint in our schools as a school resource officer. So I've been, and I want to say this, it's been an unbelievable experience. Of course, I do my duties at Ressie Jeffries Elementary School, and I have learned a lot. I love kids. I love people in general, my seniors, but I coached for 16 years in my time. But it's just amazing, the little ones, the hugs and everything that I get there. I'm known as the fist punch SRO there in that school. But the thing that really overwhelmed me more than anything was the staff, the teachers. I tell you, people out there, do not take your educators for granted because they are some of the most tremendous souls out there in how they deal with behavior. They talk about police officers and law enforcement wearing many hats as mediators, counselors, and what have you. I tell you what, these educators, these teachers out there are just tremendous in how they deal with behavior issues and everything. Actually, some of the sessions I've had with them has improved my behavior.
Or you're going to the detention.
But all kidding aside, just a great experience. I do it Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays there at the school as far as their SRO. Great relationship with the staff there and with the kids there, and it's been a rewarding experience. So I'm really enjoying that.
The sheriff says we have an SRO in every school, in every program now, so it's great. And I see you're doing some SOR work as well, right?
Yeah, I was helping out with Robbie. We had some new people complete their FTO program, so we were able to get the new ones into the school.
And so we have extra people now that can fill in when someone's sick or on vacation and things like that. So we're not going to let a school go uncovered, right?
Correct.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's great.
But it's,
All right. So what's this program
So we were excited to announce we're going to start our first Citizens Academy.
Yes, the sheriff mentioned that the other day, and he said it's coming soon.
Yep, coming soon, coming today. So we are going to start accepting applications. It's going to be up on our website by the end of today. We'll share a link on Facebook as well where you can go to download the application. So the Citizens Academy, to give you a little backstory, it's going to educate our citizens a little bit about what we do. They're going to a class very similar to what Academy would put on, but it's going to be a watered down version and censored for what the public would want. So like you'll have your first class, you'll come in, you'll learn about what community policing, the communications officers, the hiring process of what it takes to be an officer, meet and greet of the sheriff, and then get to see our facility. And then it'll go into, you'll get to learn a little bit about the Code of Virginia, victim witness, court services, civil process, because there's a lot of stuff that the sheriff's office does that people have no clue that we do.
No clue, you're right.
Then we have like patrol, traffic stops, DUI, crisis intervention and mental health, drugs and substance abuse. We'll have investigation class and processing crime scenes, fingerprinting.
Get your fingerprints done.
Yeah. Domestic violence and sexual assault. We'll put them through a firearms training, which is going to be like a FATS machine, so it'll be a simulation.
Like the laser guns, yeah.
Somewhat similar,
like those,
and we'll put them in like shoot, don't shoot scenarios. So that way it's very eye-opening, and you see all these videos of officer-involved shootings and stuff. So let's see what you would do if you were put in that situation.
A split second.
Yeah. We'll teach them a
little.
little.
You going to let them drive in the drunk car?
Yeah, we'll give them the beer goggles.
The beer
and let them drive the go-kart.
That opens your eyes, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. That'll be part of the DUI and traffic stop. We have a little bit of defensive tactics. We'll show them some basic self-defense moves. A little bit about officer survival, active shooter. We'll do a SWAT demo, canine demo, and then we'll have our animal control division go in and kind of talk a little bit about everything that they do, because that division, they stay busy all the time. There's 24/7 animal calls.
Right.
And then they'll graduate. We'll encourage them to do a ride-along. It's not required for them to do it, but it would be a good eye-opening experience for anybody that's interested in the law enforcement profession to go through the Citizens Academy, or if you sit on any civic associations or boards and you want to have a better understanding of what your sheriff's department does, come out, be a part of the first Citizens Academy. And learn a little bit about what we do.
We've been talking to the sheriff about doing that ride along, and he says, "Oh, come on, anytime." I just trying to get Mark to bring the camera, but we're going to do that. I think it'd be a very interesting eye opener of what what goes on, and life in the day of. Remember those things.
And a lot of agencies do the Citizens Academy. It helps bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement, so that way you have an understanding of what your law enforcement does.
Yeah. It's a broad area. It's not it's one of the few divisions that has so many touch points, so to speak. It's a lot.
And with the sheriff's office, there's a lot more than just a regular law enforcement agency, because you have your civil process, your court security, your animal controls, your school resource. So a lot of those things are specific to a sheriff's office.
Right.
and it's 100% free.
Yeah.
The only thing we ask is you fill out the application, submit it in to me. We're hoping to have this started November 2nd will be the first day of class, and it will go 8 weeks. And
So
it'll
like
be,
once a week?
It'll be once a week, every Thursday, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We may have to adjust the hours depending on the size of the class and the day. So like when we do the firearms, that class might run a little bit later than what 8 p.m. would be, or the graduation day, which would be our last class. So it's 8 total classes, and we're hoping to have it ended up by December 28th. We'll have to skip one day and, November for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah,
Since it's on
Thanksgiving. We can't miss
Thursday.
that. Yeah, can't miss that.
So we're hoping to have all of our CAC members go through, so that way they have an understanding of what we do and can better advise what we should and shouldn't be doing.
A lot of things are going on the next month or so, all the time, but all these activities are community policing activities.
We're definitely excited about the Citizens Academy. This has been a long time in the making.
Right.
It's a lot of work that goes into starting a program from scratch. Sergeant Voris is going to be the one doing the organization of this. Him and I are going to work hand in hand to make sure we get this thing through.
Again, we appreciate everything that happens at the sheriff's office. I know it's a lot of work, sometimes underappreciated, but
with the Citizens Academy, it does require a background check.
Okay.
So once they do the application, they'll submit it in to me. We're hoping to have all the applications in by the 15th of October, so that way I can have 15 days to send it off to the state police and get the background checks back.
all right.
We don't want somebody who is, a felon or has bad intentions trying to go through here. So we really don't want a criminal aspect. And
You don't want to train criminals, right?
No, we don't want to train criminals.
Well, plus they're in the office as well. And,
and they could potentially hear stuff within the office because you are in a sheriff's office capacity. That there is information that would be privileged.
Right. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work. All right. And we will see you next month.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, on a school. No, they're here today because the school's out. But yes, they'll be back next month. All right. Thanks again.